I'd like to welcome everybody to the February 3rd Audit of Claims meeting. Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Nelson Drive.
You're welcome.
Welcome.
Full services.
I'll just update you guys. We're going to go on to a meeting on Wednesday with the school about the construction going on Gilbert Street this summer. Kyle, did you say you are going?
I am gonna go, yeah.
Okay, well, we need to get our highway supervisor to come to this meeting, or there's really no sense in having this meeting.
Do we want the DPW there as well, or?
Well, yeah, and he wrote he's unsure if he can come.
Okay.
I think it's important that they both be there. Cause I don't have any knowledge of that. They're the ones that are
So what's that for?
shutting down Gilbert Street.
So the school is doing, big renovations on the Gilbert side, as far as the entranceway goes. So that big glass entryway on Gilbert side, that's gonna be gone, no more. And they're gonna be building an entryway out to the sidewalk, flush with the sidewalk. They're also gonna be doing some things on the roof, so they're gonna need, what they've asked for already was to shut down Gilbert Street,
Which one?
basically 4 days a week.
Oh, like behind the fence of the baseball field?
Yeah, between the fence and the school. They've already asked that they shut down the road 4 days out of the 7 during the summer. And I told them that there's no way the town could handle that, cause then you're diverting traffic to Crosby and the street by Old Mill. And I don't think those roads, I know Crosby can't handle it, and I'm pretty sure the road by the Old Mill can't handle it. I spoke briefly with Casey. Casey was against, the long-term shutdown, but if it's a day here and a day there for half the road, he's fine with. And they're having a meeting with their project manager on Wednesday, to go over everything. Cause what they wanted to do was basically staging areas. All the material will be staged on the school field, but certain days they're gonna need a crane set up to get it up to the roof or set beams or whatnot. So it's been a back and forth, but like Bonnie said, we're supposed to have a meeting with them on Wednesday, so. What's everyone's thoughts on that?
Well, unfortunately, sometimes you have to do what you gotta do. I mean, there is ways around.
I just like to see like the actual dates and times, like once you get.
That would be-
Once they get
Yeah.
that finalized, like on some paper and see like.
Like
check
they were
the
gonna
event
they were gonna
schedules.
close it like where the
It's not a stationary crane that they'd be using or anything. They should be able to accommodate it, and if there is a day here and there where they are setting beams and stuff where there shouldn't be any traffic, that's fine. But not 4 days.
not 4 days a week, the whole road closed.
Yeah.
Well, and what time of the, like Tommy just said, what time of the year
When,
and all that.
what time, what days?
Yeah, like actual months and dates they expect
Right.
to do that.
They,
So if you can get that from them when
yeah,
you
I do know in the initial,
in an email or something.
in our initial conversations, it was end of June, basically all of July. It's part of August, but the bulk of it was gonna happen in July. And they were thinking on a Monday to Thursday or a Tuesday to Friday shutdown when they wanted the 4 days in a row.
Yeah, I mean,
They had brought up the fact too that they thought that Gilbert was a paper road and that they had a right of way on it, but after doing a little digging with Nancy, the town holds the deed to that road, so the town has final say, Casey has the say, because he's our roads guy.
I don't think they wanna go on that venture anyways.
What was that?
I don't think they wanna get into that anyways, to be honest,
you
cause
gotta be able to,
that would be pretty ridiculous.
it's our school though, we gotta be able to. That's
right, that's right.
Right?
Well, I'm all for accommodating, I just,
Yeah.
during the summer, I mean, we all know how busy these roads get in the summer, and having having the few arteries off of 28 that we do have, having one of those shut down. I mean, I know a lot of the local guys would know that that road might be shut down for this day, that day. But the loggers going up to the league club or tractor trailers, FedEx, UPS trying to get up South Shore Road, that might turn down that road first.
I thought that the standing traffic this past summer was for the growth of the town is minimal compared to the past 2 years. I thought we only had a few days where
Traffic wasn't
remember that,
terrible.
where we were like down to Fendera
Yeah.
or
Or
you know,
past.
whatever, in that 10 a.m. to like 6 p.m. window with the water park.
Right.
So, like I didn't think we had that many days where it was awful like the past couple
Right.
years prior to that.
Where we had multiple days in a row,
Yeah.
just backed up all the way.
So if
to
they
the
just
bridge.
got us the actual days or
Right,
and then we went through like, hey, look, this is, cause you always know what it is, right? It's the week leading up to July 4th, but the
Yeah.
week after July 4th is not that busy.
Right.
And the weekend after a holiday, whatever, that's just how the week before a holiday weekend, it's just not that crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe we could say like, hey, you can't, you know,
Can I sign those, Ben?
not allowed. July 5th is a Saturday this year, so obviously you couldn't do it the
Oh.
last weekend in June or something. And you couldn't do it the week after that, maybe, or something that could.
Yeah, we'll get dates and times from.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm gonna guess that they would be responsible for detour signs and all that kind of crap, right? Or somebody has to.
So
be.
whoever's doing the work would probably take care
Right,
of that.
right.
Yeah. We should make sure that's written up in there.
Yeah, because let people know that that area is gonna be. I mean, yeah, like I say, you have to give a little to get a little.
Rather than that, though, Kyle, yeah.
Yeah, I'm almost done.
Get any of these, you know, it's like one of those things where it's a whole town, people living here and people visiting are all gonna have to somewhat know this might happen. Might be a good prerequisite for like if we do get some infrastructure fixed, cause that's gonna happen. You know, the sewer system and stuff, if we do get some of these grants and what stuff we're talking about today, you know, Main Street will be closed.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, half the main street will be closed.
Just something to think about in the overall future plan of. What are they doing over there? What are they, got some roof work to do or something they're fixing?
I
entryway.
don't think so much roof work, but as far as, units, like condenser units being brought up to the roof and then.
Oh, they're doing
that-
some age.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then that whole, glass entrance on the post office side there, that's coming out and they're building a new entrance right to the sidewalk. So it's gonna be covered stairs.
Oh, that,
Yeah.
Stairway to heaven they're taking away.
yeah, right. Isn't that something? Remember when they built that? Cause we were all in high school.
Yeah, I knew.
That was, and then they all admitted that's where, that's where everything went
They built it
wrong.
twice.
When we did that.
Yeah, they built it twice because there's something wrong with it. Huh?
That huge, we left the courtyard and that huge hallway and like it's just like all the stuff that was really incorrectly done. So it's really set the
Gone.
school
It'll be
down.
gone.
And I was in high school then with Nancy. We got a cool library though. That was sweet. That's serious.
Yeah. Was that was in kindergarten or first grade?
2000, it was like 2001.
Maybe second grade. First and second grade.
Good old days, right? Somebody's walking in. Mr. Hale.
Done?
Mr. Hale. What's up, Tom?
What's going on? Anything good?
How are you?
I know.
Waiting for me, were you?
Of course we were. You not want us to?
I was just looking for
I
that.
moved it. That came email.
Oh, this is cool. Is this, how many copies is this here?
That's for you.
Oh, thank you. So you, any questions on the moratorium? Probably not, right?
Yeah, what are the cons for this project? Cause I hear all the pros, but I don't hear any cons. There's some cons somewhere, there's some downfall somewhere.
Well, the cons would be, well, suppose we had somebody that wanted to do something significant on Main Street. But the thing, and that would be, say, a hotel or something like that. But everything you've got on connected on Main Street right now is connected. All right, there's no significant change in any of it at this point in time. Nothing on the plate, right?
Correct. There's nothing on the plate. Andy said there's nothing.
Yeah, so we're not, I don't think it's a negative impact on anything that's going on. What would be a negative impact is if we did allow somebody to hook up right now, and that sent us up over
Oh, yeah, that's.
flow rate that
That's an issue.
would potentially hurt us. And then that would be like, tipping over all the way down. Once you lose one big section, we've got a real big problem.
Right.
Then we go from, we got a moratorium going on because we're trying to get a handle on this. We go from the flip side, we're gonna go to, now all of a sudden, we've got big red pumps every 300 feet, picking up sewage and moving it down, driving over it, we gotta get in and stuff. Not the vision we really need for town. That's not gonna be a good do this. I mean, realistically, it was just an idea, but at the same token, should have been considering it before, to tell you the truth.
How long do we put it in place? Or do we have to put it in place?
Well, it'll be over as soon as the new system starts to be, once we get funded and then we get through construction, so.
If we get funded.
Well, yeah, but by doing this, you've moved yourself from being everybody in the room to being, and it's legit because we have a problem. We have imminent failure coming down the road, so we can do this. We're not playing a game. There's no voodoo here at all. So this is all good. But that'll move us up significantly because we need to be shovel ready and we have the problem. So now all of a sudden, we're not going to be fighting for that last. We're going to move 30 points up being all that. And then we could actually go to construction quickly. Start solving the problem.
And that's-
But the problem's not going away.
That's from what Corey Reed and yourself and whoever else is involved to show the state, like why we're putting this moratorium in.
I'm sorry, I'm start over again. Like a little deaf, I didn't put my hearing aid,
You know, the sewer system in general.
right?
Like we just show what the studies that we've been working on the past few years and all things.
We're gonna use the data we've collected, from all the, the investigations we've done, all the stuff we know. We have televised large portions of it that were really in bad shape. There's other areas that are probably in a little bit better shape, but.
Yeah, I remember that.
About our main run, as we've got to
Well,
get
does that include, okay, so I do have some questions.
it. Okay,
You're talking about Main Street, but we have already paperwork on 6 areas that are a problem,
okay.
a
yeah.
big problem, basically.
Yes,
So does that mean that if we get money from Main Street, we can't put that money towards our serious problems?
no.
Because
No,
I want those fixed.
No, because Main Street is our business district, and that's a big cause there. But we have other connectors that are part of this plan that have to be done.
Right.
Because if they go offline, that's gonna screw up Main Street too. So I mean, yeah, I'm talking about Main Street, but it's the whole thing, the elements that we looked
Okay.
at before. Yeah, we're not excluding another bad section just so we can make something work.
Okay, I just
Because
want that to
doesn't
be
work.
written into this mess here that, they don't come along and say, wait a minute, you only asked for money for this. You didn't say that you needed this fixed,
No. We're gonna itemize, we're gonna point out all the very bad areas that we've got, everything, the eminent areas that are trigger points, and then other sections that are actually tributaries to it. And then some stuff that will be dated, we'll say, well, we're gonna go by here, we're gonna have to replace a manhole or an intersection or something like that. Or along with the, interceptor line, then you've got the tributary lines that are coming in. So those will actually, if they're old pipes, we're gonna have to move back, say, another whole manhole on that road, because we can't go back, we can't afford to go back in and just do patch it up.
Right.
No.
We gotta do this right.
I
We only get really one shot at
Main
this.
Street from the mill over to mill
Bridge to
down.
bridge,
Yeah, bridge to
old
bridge.
mill to this bridge, right?
Bridge to bridge
You
is,
told me bridge to
yeah,
bridge.
yeah.
Over by the, what is it?
I mean, because that's what we've got issues, but, we've made some fixes over the time. You put a pump station in, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And that. So you've got working in the right direction, but it's a sanitary sewer. The interceptor is what's called, the Main Street line is the main thing, but the bad areas that are tributaries to that are gonna be included. They have to be, because we won't get approval if we don't
The
say
6
we're,
areas of concern.
yes.
What about places already connected to can't add any more to it? So there's,
So if there's a accelerated dwelling unit, say our zoning passes,
Right,
and we're allowed to put accessory dwelling unit?
Accessory dwelling.
Accessory
Accessory.
dwelling units,
okay,
Am I allowed to put a unit on my property and put a new line in to the sewer? No, right?
Not to the sewer.
Okay,
The existing folks, though, I'm saying, like,
If you have an existing,
you can fix your,
you can't shut anybody off.
right.
that was my question.
Add
So
a
I
new
mean,
line.
if you've got somebody that has a problem, they can come in and do it.
Problem.
But you have to be very careful doing it so that they don't damage the.
No, you can't add
what we
one
got.
like I just said.
But
You can't add anything.
Right.
You can't.
You can
can't put
fix
another
existing.
apartment.
But I think the point that's being made is, and help me out here, because I wasn't a huge part of this, but if somebody's got a garage or whatever that they want to make into a rental and they want to hook into the sewer,
Not today.
right, it's over. Can't do that anymore.
But they can down the road.
While there's a moratorium in
Right,
place.
And say
I just
when
want to clear that up.
When all this stuff goes together, and then if they have plans that they want to, that's what they want to do. Yeah, we're not saying it's never going to happen.
Right.
We're just going to say it's not happening today.
Right, I got
That's all.
I just want to clear that. So the second thing I wanted to bring up is, we already gave an okay, and I don't know where it's at, maybe it's nothing now, but we already gave an okay to Don Ross doing that housing or whatever.
Yeah, but that's not a problem. It would, well.
Not on Main Street.
But it probably isn't a problem at this point, because, I mean, I've been talking to Don a lot about that.
Okay.
So,
Just a
right
thought.
now, they're still working a deal with, Win to see if they're gonna, have you guys been talking to Win about that? Right. All right, so that would be, Don would be donating that to Win rather than building that, is what he'd be doing.
Okay,
And,
so that would become part of that project.
yeah.
Okay.
And that's probably one of the easiest connections, but we really need to just.
Well, like I said, we've already granted that last I knew.
And where are, like, places like, I mean,
Okay, if you granted it, you can. That was
I
actually.
think we did, didn't we? I mean,
So-
Nance, did we say basically okay to
We
that
did one
project?
resolution, that was it.
Yeah, okay.
And
All
not saying you're totally granted, no.
right,
He's
okay,
joining the paperwork to connect to anything.
okay.
and Don, I try to keep my personal stuff out of, my businesses on my own out of this whole thing, but I've got two partners.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've got to ask that question over there with where we're at with space, because we've got the second and third floors that we're still trying to figure out what our plan is there, but we're existing connection.
Your connection is existing,
Okay,
but don't put in hot tubs, don't do that kind of thing.
yeah,
It's probably not gonna be that big of a deal.
that's, okay. This is for the,
Discretion of that, because you don't want somebody to come after you saying, well, we got a thing in and you're doing this, so.
and then my other question is, who's writing this up, Brian, on our end, the moratorium part of it?
It'll go through our lawyer,
Yeah,
yes.
you have to.
So Brian, I'm sorry, yeah, our lawyer, Brian. So then that would probably take a minute, and then like, do you guys have public hearing month or anything you're looking for to try and?
No, it's just, it'll get us, there's money running around.
We have to do that, right? We have to do a public hearing, right?
Well, I'm not sure you have to put it.
Not for a
Not for
moratorium.
moratoriums. This is reactionary to something that's significant in town.
It's just a resolution,
You're
that's it.
you're claiming
There's-
emergency breakage. You're claiming,
Okay,
Yeah, you can do it. I mean, people can push back, but there's no booger here for you, you're not stepping on anything. This is for the good of the town, this health and well-being of the town, sanitary services. There's nobody's gonna push back on it. Maybe somebody might, because they wanted to put in a.
you did some stuff up in Inlet, right, with bringing, or how long has that system been up there?
That system is 13 years old.
13 years old, so they just didn't have anything in place. And I
They
got
had
a
nothing.
lot of nice stuff up there, so I'm just trying to figure out what other Adirondack communities have kind of gone through this,
Well, everybody up there.
what it means for us,
Your building's on it.
yeah.
Yeah, from yours.
It's just not being able to
But
add
those
to it.
people to go to the line, they have to pay for that, right?
That's
The
what we
main
do.
line is our deal, but. if you
Main
want-
line is our deal, and the way it should be worded, their connection, you make a connection to, at their property line. And then you would have, and some of them, they would have to pay, say if there's a problem, well, it could be a bunch of different ways, I'm not sure how your law actually reads. A lot of times that the individual, they put it in a grant that they actually do that, they go to the property line, to the curb box basically, and they make the connection. If they don't have competent plumbing, if they got a Orangeburg and, it's crap, then you would go back and then and I've done it before, where we actually went all the way to the side of the house, through the old septic tanks or whatever.
That would be something that we'll have to remember.
Our law doesn't allow that.
Our law
we go to
goes
the curb
to the
stop.
curbside.
Curbs, that's actually the best way to go, but they have to have a competent connection, and the crew.
You're gonna find a bunch that aren't, that's one of where I was going with this.
Because
Not your problem.
big crews like that, they are plumbers, and they have a licensed plumber who is actually somewhere in the mix in that whole thing, so they can actually, so they find a subcontractor, or they would even have one of their own offshoots do a subcontracting, if you needed to go back in further.
Right, there will be, I mean, I'm just going back.
You don't know what, if that house has been built forward, front porches been put on, or garages put down and that kind of stuff. So yeah, it could be a problem, but
There will be some.
you're always, every job I've ever been on,
It'll be a benefit to whoever's
yeah,
going, I
absolutely.
mean, 100% benefit. I would assume they would wanna fix it, but there will be a price there for it.
So are you looking like springtime? Are we looking for March, April?
well, I'd love to have a non-year like this and we could work all the way through the winter, but this is not that year. If we had started this year, we would have been screwed. But last year, we could have done the whole thing and nobody would have known, so.
You gotta get Brian to write it, you got to have Brian's opinion. too.
We're a ways out on that. This is just the first step.
Do a moratorium.
Construction. We have to go, this right here is just a outline of
They're not close.
where we can go to. No, we have to to really get our funding going, we have to be shovel ready, so we have.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm just saying the moratorium part of it. When are we trying to put that in? That's the part I'm talking about.
It's better to put it in sooner than later because we put it in right before you file an application. They'll say, oh, that's curious, but I mean, what would be the problem for not putting it in?
Yeah, I'm just wondering schedule wise. So you guys are.
That's what I wanna know.
It's on my list.
Well, I mean, I would say,
Saying there's gotta be a downside to this, but I can't.
Well, I gave you
I can't-
my thoughts, but they weren't negatives, they were just things that we've talked
Things that we,
about.
yeah, things.
there is no downtime and there's no expiration date on it. It stays that way until you decide to say, hey, we're back in operation and our system is working. Now we are gonna lift the moratorium. Everybody come, you can start,
Right.
if you wanna build stuff.
By rights, it's a
Okay.
temporary moratorium.
Sure, yeah. Yeah,
And there's, not that many vacant lots
I
where
always
people are
say
gonna be adding and putting
Well,
on
that works to our benefit.
right now, yeah.
Single.
And it doesn't stop anybody from making, if they have a problem and they have to dig up their sewer line or something, that doesn't,
single pile.
that change would be good. for
Right.
them to do. So, but I don't think you're gonna probably see much of that. We're just trying to minimize.
Those connectors wouldn't be affected though.
We're trying to get our ducks
The
in a
other towns, yeah.
It's not gonna change Main Street. It's gonna,
Yeah, Ben's got a pile.
it'll probably prevent, or maybe prevent the possibility of having a catastrophic failure.
Yeah.
But we don't have it, we don't anticipate anybody coming online, so it probably wouldn't make any difference.
did sign
But we're
one.
doing the prudent thing, and by doing that, it'll move us up in the pecking order when it comes to getting funding.
And that's what we just declined.
Without it, we're gonna be battling for the last 10%. With it, we own the last 10%, maybe 15%, maybe 25 or 30%.
I mean, what did we just strike out on? Did we just not get qualify for some grant? I can't remember which one.
The second WIA grant,
Second we ever had.
I think we've done pretty good with the grants. Everybody keeps going, we don't get any money, but we
No, we did.
got over $2 million.
We got a lot of money for that plan over there.
We we got an awful lot of money for that.
Yeah.
I know, we had to, it was mandatory. That's true,
They had to give us money, it was mandatory.
true,
Well, that is something to be said about that. You know.
true statement there.
You ask for all this money and then, you have to do it, well, okay.
Think of what we could fix.
Just trying to keep it clear. That's why the questions just ask for everybody. If anybody watches this too, like, we're not shutting down nothing's happening to Main Street yet. You
I put it out there, if it turns into a shit show,
add.
call me and I'll come back in and I'll give you 5 minutes of the shit show and then I'm leaving.
Okay. Got you there.
This is just to clarify, this is to get our ducks in a row. We set the
We've got a problem.
right, we've got the problem, so now we're starting to get our ducks in a
Put
row.
more demand on the sewer at this
Right.
point in time.
Catastrophic failure.
Might tip us into a problem, then we've got a emergency action.
Right.
So this is the absolute best thing for the town.
I tried to do that. I tried to declare an emergency on the sewer district so I could use the fund balance in the sewer district. And they told me you couldn't do
Didn't
that.
go over.
It didn't go over. But I did try to do it at one point. I just did it the wrong way.
But there's differences there, but you could say if it did have an issue, you could actually do that.
Yes.
You can use the fund balance.
Yeah, you have to
But
pay
that
it
money has to be put back in there somewhere along the line.
within a year.
Well, that's.
With interest.
Well,
Within a year with interest, because we just did that.
it's a use district. It's a use
Sure, oh, yeah,
district. So
oh, yeah.
people pay into it. So that's their burden. So, yeah, so then you'd have to levy everybody that's in the district plus the interest to get that
Yeah.
back in there. But you do have the money to use. You can use it. You just,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to pay it back, and interest is expensive right now.
We don't-
5 years ago, it's.
There's not enough there anyways to do, fix all that anyways.
No, we need, like I said, there was, Mike, you were in the meeting, Kyle was, but there's some huge platforms that have not moved forward, so there's money sitting there, and we're just looking for the right projects to come forward.
Do you know where that money comes from?
It's actually, it was a whole bunch of different packages put together. Do I have it for you? I gave you one, didn't I, Brian?
And right now, you think the county has the authority to
Yeah, they're,
kind of say,
Well, it's going through the IDA, is what it is. And that was the thing, is this,
it was almost to the tune of almost like
it was
12
like $12 million worth
up
of,
for grabs.
that was
From discontinuing
happen.
projects downstate.
stuff that's just not gonna happen now all of a sudden. You know, it's sitting there. And that's when the conversation came up, that I was having, that where did I put that piece of paper? That was a pretty. Anyways, it was about $12 million.
And then the-
Various, pretty big water line projects and stuff that, and what happened is they didn't actually have, the Judas really dropped the ball on this. Just so you know, when you start looking at engineers. So
Well-
they undersized it so.
and is this to be, you say this 12 million, is it to be divvied out or is it at one chunk that?
No, that was a total of a whole bunch of, there was a multiple on there.
No, I understand that, but you can.
No.
We're gonna apply for the whole 12 million for.
You apply for as much as you can and get what you can out of it, and then.
Because this
you know,
project was, wasn't there an estimate?
6.5.
Oh, well, that's not bad.
But then there were
More
also
than
some added bonuses too that Hartley touched on.
What's that?
That was fucking.
There were some added bonuses too that Hartley touched on from BCA.
Right.
As far as the, community infrastructure, ESD,
Want it on there or no?
another.
Yeah.
Not gonna pass anything.
She's looking at stuff up more so than the stuff I was bringing to the table. She came along, that, she's just a gift, she's gonna.
I mean, I don't.
Yeah, and we're already the pro,
all be
we're already
expensive, not gonna pass.
signed up for the pro housing community, so that helps us as well, because if we can prove that after this project, we can add 10 more houses, or 10 more homes.
We're gonna damn sure
Right,
make that a point to be.
then we get
Platform.
extra money,
That's an extra $500,000,
up to $1 million.
up to $1 million. And that's gonna be there, and that's gonna be, it'll come out again probably in April.
Right,
That'll come up again just for new applications. And you just gotta be into that, because if nobody's putting in for it, it's a Herkimer County thing. It's a easy money, and there's no big projects going on down there that has to do with that. We have to have something, we have to get farther along
yeah,
to get that.
gotta get the ball rolling.
Yeah, well, Bernier and Cars, actually, they did a lot of the groundwork, and this new gal is actually gonna help them out even better. But Inlet they had like $4.5 million into that.
Yeah.
I don't think they came up with the $12 million to finish that project.
So if
They
our
got
lawyer
most-
wants to call somebody, who's he calling, PCA?
What's that?
Who's Brian, our lawyer, gonna call? When he,
Oh,
to
Corey
find
Reed,
two.
Corey Reed.
Corey, okay, he talks to Corey all the time,
Yeah.
okay, I just wanna make sure I had the right. It's on the list for tomorrow.
Were those plans, I mean, I know we talked a lot about how that sewer line was gonna be run, there was gonna be two lines going down and
Going
then
down
come
on
together,
either side.
but on either side, I don't know.
Well, I think that's, so originally I had heard, because replacing in kind, you can go down and make the connection the whole thing. But that would be deep, and it includes Main Street, because you go 16 foot deep, you go curb to curb. That's a big hole.
Yeah, right.
So two parallel, but I think that's a concept. I'm not sure what the slope and grade and slope is for that, if that works there. Maybe it does. Maybe there's a couple of pump stations involved with that. Not certain. There's gonna be a pump station someplace because you're gonna have to get, if you're put it way up, you're gonna run out of, I think you're gonna run out because we'd have to have a huge drop to get down into the wastewater. But I'm not involved with that.
It goes downhill now, as far as we know.
Oh, no, but it all depends on where the elevation starts and you go to.
I hear-
You know, that's why you got the pump station up here, because we have to get up and get over the top. That's why you have the main pump station here. Because everything comes, does run in, but then you've got everything on the backside runs into the main pump station.
Right.
And then that force main shoves it back up to the plant.
Right.
I mean, that's a pretty good sized pump station you have on
This
maybe.
one, at the police station, that's
Yeah, maybe you could even load that station, but that's a Corey question now. So, he can crunch the numbers, so he gets paid to do. So, got to do it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Doug.
Thank you.
Hey, nice job on Macaulay though. That's awesome.
Isn't that cool?
Needs a paint job though. Definitely needs.
Working on it.
The magic carpet, is that going to be in the spring?
It's planned.
Yeah, we gotta do that, because we wanna extend it.
Better put it in. I'm not going to ask for.
I know, I hear
We
you,
gotta
I
extend.
totally know. But you know, I just thought of something in the sewer thing, and I hate to even say it out loud, but at that whole end of the campground and all that stuff, there's been all kinds of additions thrown onto that stuff up there.
Right.
We're gonna have to keep our eye on what goes on up there if they're gonna do this moratorium.
Yeah, they're in the moratorium. They can't do it.
Right.
So, yeah, somebody's got to. You got serve them with notice that there's going to be no extras, and they will probably say that we need to do right now.
Right.
You know, maybe you can work on something, but
You folks putting anything in?
I would like to.
Around us?
I have a dream.
Well, they're always putting them cabins and all that.
Main Street, that's not Main Street though.
Just a garage.
No, that's not a problem.
Wait.
All right, that's a question then, because that comes in.
I'm sorry.
Side of the bridge.
So this wouldn't affect that up there, this moratorium?
It's an old
Yes,
mill.
Oh no, it would. Yeah, if they're just anybody
No, I
that's
know.
discharging to the sewer.
Right, yeah, so it's not just main, it's not that from bridge to bridge.
Oh, you said Main Street.
No, but they anything that connects
Into,
Main Street is where it is, but it's from bridge to bridge. The whole sewer district, basically.
Okay, because that's not how I caught it when I first was writing here. It said Main Street only, old mill to covered bridge.
Well, no, because Main Street is actually the interceptor. So that is
You're talking about the entire sewer
That's our
district.
main line.
everything. That's the main line.
the moratorium would be on
Okay.
this entire district.
So anything that's connected that discharges to the sewer, to this sewer district, which is one sewer district, there's no new.
Yeah, that's not how I took it in the beginning there. Okay. That's the entire sewer system. Doesn't matter if you're.
Well, it is the entire sewer system.
Okay.
It is, absolutely. I should have been more clear on that. 'Cause
Yeah, sorry, the bridge to bridge was just the Main Street project that we were talking about at the
A
meeting.
new pipe
Yeah.
through there.
But everybody that's currently on the sewer system remains on the sewer system, but nobody new comes on until it's done.
Any other questions?
All right.
Thank you. Thanks for the DMV meeting
thanks.
today too.
Thanks.
Thanks for the DMV meeting today too.
Oh, that might work out pretty good. That was actually a state thing. I did some research on it. That was put together by the state, probably almost 20 years ago. All right. And there is some criteria on the times it has to be open.
Yeah, Senator Seward did that. There were specifics.
Yeah, so there's some
Connected to
specifics.
that,
So, I know she gets shut down by, Wallace. He just, I don't know why. Yeah, and I haven't talked to Jim. We'll just won't talk to Jim. So we're going the other direction. So we're gonna run it through legislator.
Okay,
And
perfect.
that should solve that problem pretty quick.
Yeah, I think she's got good.
Everybody
ideas.
seems to be on board with it so far, so.
Yeah. All right, if you need
One way to skin a cat.
anything, yeah.
Thanks, Don.
Thanks, Don.
Thank you.
As well.
starts. Will be a problem and what's going on.
No, we met with the new
Jennifer,
County clerk.
county clerk.
The county clerk, yep,
she
okay.
was up here.
Yep. Very nice. She wants to extend the hours from 8 to 2.
Same days, but add a little morning, couple morning hours, if we can get a local person,
If we can get somebody local.
for 15 hours a week. But it hasn't been approved yet.
Not 5 days a week.
Well, and we tried to get a local person.
Not
That
5
didn't
days a
work
week.
out really good, but it might now.
We tried.
We,
3 days a week?
3.
Monday,
3
Monday,
Thursdays and
Thursday,
Friday,
Friday.
8 to 2.
we were offered to get a local person in the past, but it didn't really work out that great, did it?
It was fine, yeah, it would have been fine till the last people she hired, she didn't hire a local.
Okay.
Can I have those bills?
Working on it.
No, that's a great thing though. I think that's awesome, honestly.
She seems to have good ideas. All right, we're all done. Thanks.